You are listening to Waywut. This is a rabbit hole podcast where we cover topics ranging from sports to true crime and pop culture to weird facts. Just a little bit of everything. Really, it's just a couple of guys taking turns to present weird topics to each other. We publish episodes weekly and truly appreciate you joining us. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's get this episode started. Here we go. Hello there, and welcome to the latest episode of Waywut. Here I am with the guy raised by a flock of Canadian geese, Jason.
Quack.
That's not what geese say. And for you, and just so you know, if anybody wants to ever do a Canadian goose call, it's really simple. It's like your money or your life, or I'll cut you, bitch. Because Canadian geese are terrible, terrible animals.
They sound very mean.
They are vicious. They are horrible.
I've seen the videos of geese chasing around people around the pond.
Oh, they're not nice.
They're vicious looking.
Yeah, no. I mean, if I had enough land with a pond, I would get a bunch of them, but then train them, because I think they'd be more effective than guard dogs because they aren't afraid. They're not afraid to arm themselves. So
and they're very small as far as there's no body to hit or punch or grab. They're just a neck and beak coming at you.
Yeah, and then, you go grab for that neck, you dead.
Mm.
All right, so
there was geese talk.
There was a geese talk. Well, now we're going to go to a reasonable man rant, which is a bit of an oxymoron, but I think it's necessary, especially some of these turbulent times that we are fastly approaching, really quickly. So I'm going to let you in on something just absolutely just mind-blowing. Human beings, people, Homo sapiens, are animals. I know. It's crazy. Because, if we're animals, that means we're part of nature.
Yeah, we're the top of the food chain.
What? I know that means hunting and eating animals is natural. All right, I'm gonna take off my sarcasm hat, which it's kind of funny because I'm actually not wearing a hat.
Wearing a hat. No, your hair is looking beautiful, by the way.
I did just get it cut, and I wanted to show it off. And yes, I like hunting. I will admit that I like hunting, but I am not a fan of wholesale killing. I don't support clubbing baby seals.
I don't think many people do.
No, I don't support hunting things to extinction. I'm not like one of those cartoon hunters where it's like, I must kill the last dodo. We have evolved enough to show restraint and have things like bag limits and regulations about hunting because all your wildlife departments in every state, it's all about keeping a stable and healthy population of these animals.
Yeah,
so
keep them going.
If you start seeing a shortage, they're going to be like, no, there's no more. You can't hunt these. If there's too many of them, they're going to say, oh, kill a lot more of these because they're going to start spreading diseases or they're going to eat out all the food and cause issues for, animals that eat the same stuff. So, the reason I bring this up is I'm tired of, the environmental people, the bad ones, the nuts, not just people in general, the crazy ones that essentially act like we are parasites that are infecting the earth. Like we're just some sort of alien thing that just came down here and we're just, ruining it.
We're part of the earth.
Yeah. So I'm not talking, I don't have issues with reasonable regulations, don't dump cyanide waste in playgrounds. I think that's reasonable. But I'm talking about the real weirdos that want us to wear leaves, eat leaves, and use leaves as condoms.
That's just ridiculous.
And even then, they want you to, be very careful. It's like, it has to be specific leaves, I guess. I don't know. So everything we do, even now at this advanced, how we are advanced technologically, is still just like animals, and people need to learn how to accept that. And then they'll be like, "But Darrell, there's nothing natural about cars." I beg to differ. So, sit down, imaginary crazy person. You need to understand that we are tool users. We evolved to not be born with sharp claws, big teeth, and insane muscles. We evolved ways to get the same things that animals get using those, but with our brains.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at like a lot of male birds in various species have way more vibrant colors than the female counterparts.
Yeah. That's how they get the chicks.
Yes, it's to attract mates. Male humans get brightly colored cars to attract mates. Same thing. Elephants and penguins travel several hundreds of miles in pursuit of food. We take our cars to the drive-through to attain sustenance. We travel. Beavers and meerkats build large, complex dens to protect and house their families. We drive our cars to work so we can pay for insanely high housing costs.
Yes.
If you look at natural history, you'll find that the Earth keeps things in check.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be a reset eventually.
Exactly. Too many deer in the woods, a disease starts killing them off. Too many people in nature, too many people in the world, nature makes Spanish flu or the Black Plague. People figure out, people figure out how to stop those. All of a sudden, this many people get together and we have a war and we kill each other off. Either way, it's able to reduce the population. I mean, you look at things like, Earth is sick of having dinosaurs. It just grabbed a meteor out of space and said, "Come here."
Yep.
Earth's having a bad day and wants to take out a lot of people. Have a Pompeii. Just blows up and kills everybody. I mean, if another thing it will do is it will help. It will, and this is kind of where I'm wondering where the direction we're going. So this is going somewhere. It'll affect how animals think, like pandas. Pandas have served their purpose. and nature has seen fit by having them constantly eat something with no nutritional value for them. They eat bamboo all day and they have to eat it all day because it doesn't provide them anything.
Mm-mm.
And it made them too stupid to reproduce.
But they're fun to watch on YouTube.
No, pandas, they trigger me. They want to be done. They are the evolutionary NDR. Just pull the plug and let them die. They don't want to continue to exist. They are not trying to continue to exist.
Yeah, they don't reproduce very well. Aren't they not made? Don't they have to get them drunk or something to reproduce?
I mean, they show them human porn. They do all sorts of things. And it's even gotten to a point where some like female pandas will start producing the pregnancy hormone even when they're not pregnant because they know it gets some special treatment.
Wow.
I mean, it's just, we're not letting nature take its course. We are interfering with it. That is us actually interfering in nature because we're like, no, they're cute. It's like stupid.
Us humans have a tendency of getting in other people's business.
Whenever it comes to people, we're kind of in the opposite camp. I mean, we are getting stupid, but our breeding is out of control. And we have a bunch of stupid, people that are getting born and where naturally they would die off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Earth would do. It'd be like, oh, okay, you're too stupid to live. You're going to stick your finger in a light socket or
bit by a snake or
take a nap in a refrigerator, hold my beer stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you really want to talk about something unnatural, much like us keeping the pandas around that don't want to be here, we're busting our asses to keep stupid people around. And I think that
Yeah.
if we truly wanted to embrace nature, we take the warnings off of everything. Let stupid people eat Tide Pods.
Yeah.
Put forks in electrical outlets and take selfies on the sides of cliffs. Let them do those things.
That's
Stop
the
getting in the way of nature.
yeah. That's the weird thing about all them warnings is that one time somebody did all those things is why the warning hasn't been put on there.
Yeah,
That's
and
it's
and
crazy.
because of that, we are muddying the gene pool. Where the hell was I going with all this? All right, people are animals that are part of nature. Stop focusing on dumb shit like making people pay for plastic grocery bags and spend more time removing warning labels. Done.
Yes.
That's the moral of the story. That's my reasonable
Common sense.
rant.
Common sense prevails.
Yes. So, speaking of dangerous wild animals,
Feel better?
yeah, let's talk about something weird.
All right.
We're going to talk about times that wild animals helped people out.
Oh,
And
okay. Like
yeah,
a dolphin or something?
yeah.
All
And I
right.
mean, I am one of those things whenever it comes to people, with them interacting with animals. I'm not a big fan of it because, they are wild animals. Leave them alone, unless you're going to shoot it or something. Just, don't try to pet a bear. But these interactions where animals inject themselves into this thing, I do find pretty fascinating.
Yeah. It's like they understand what's going on.
So, yeah, I really wanted to do this because the one I did last time, that one was a bummer. So, but speaking of bummers, I'm going to start with the bummer one first. June 2005, in Ethiopia, a 12-year-old girl was kidnapped by four men on her way home from school. Unfortunately, this is not uncommon for rural Ethiopia for men to kidnap young women with the intention of forcing them into marriage. I get that being single is tough, but everything in the world is wrong with this. I mean, seriously, if we ever get a listener in Ethiopia and you're considering doing this, don't, dude. Just don't. Go somewhere with Tinder. So these sick bastards, they get tracked down by the cops and they take off with her. And the police have to, are chasing after them. And when the police eventually catch up, they find the girl with three lions and no kidnappers. The police described it as if the lions were guarding her, and then as the police approached, they left and went off into the jungle.
Wow.
Now,
How old
according
was the
to
girl again? 14?
12,
12? And three female lions, I'm assuming?
not it didn't say. It didn't say. None of the article said. According to the girl, the three lions scared the men off, and they just left her. I guess none of them really wanted to get, married that much. The only harm she received was from the men. The lions never harmed her.
Wow.
Yeah. According to various experts, some believe that they intended on eating her until the cops came and scared them off. Others believe that her crying may have sounded similar to a lion cub. I mean, either way, the girl was
Oh, okay.
rescued. Those guys later got caught and were thrown in jail. And hopefully, if the world is right at all, they were forced to be somebody's bride.
Grab that pocket.
If there's any justice in the world. All right. Now, for a different version of dark. Are you aware that around 2,000 people have committed suicide by jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge since it was opened up in 1937?
Am aware of that.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
And on top of that, it's not even an easy way to go.
Oh, no.
No.
I don't think you die all the way. I think you drown.
You fall 220 feet, and you're going about 75 miles an hour. And by the time you hit that water, it don't feel soft because you're going that fast. It's like it is like hitting concrete.
Mm-hmm.
If you're lucky, the impact will kill you.
Yeah, you're going for a belly flop there. You're not going for a dive.
And if not, you do get to experience the belly flop from hell and then drown, which is not a fun way to go. So not only are you going to drown, which is an incredibly unpleasant way to die, you're going to get to feel all your broken bones and punctured organs
Before.
So don't know why 2,000 people think that's a great idea, but whatever. And it's,
Kind of goes along the saying.
I think it's a California thing because there's a bridge over by San Diego. I forget. It goes to like some thing that's not a real island. That's a peninsula. It's a big, tall bridge, and they got like all these like suicide hotline numbers all over the bridge. It's kind of crazy. All right. Let's talk about Kevin Hines. He had depression and bipolar disorder. And in September 2000, he took a running start, jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. Like the other 30 or so Golden Gate jumpers that somehow survived. No, he said the moment he jumped, he regretted it. And that's what every the 30 other people said too that jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge and lived. It's like the second that they are in gravity's hands, they're like,
oh shit!
Fuck.
Too bad they're not like a cartoon, and they had that moment in time where they're just hovering in the air before they realize they're actually falling, so they can jump back over to the bridge.
Well, this dude did do something that you would think that you would normally see in cartoons. He realized he was falling head first, and so he moved so that his legs would hit first.
What?
Yeah, I mean, you have time. I mean, whenever you're falling and you got enough distance, you can move around. I know. I jumped out of a plane.
To do the deed and
no, because remember, he regretted it the moment he was actually in the air. So he was like, "Oh shit, I want to live." Well, he did what happens to one that jumps off the Golden Gate Bridge. He hit the water at high speed, shattered 2 of his vertebrae. Ouch. He struggled to the surface in the ice cold water, and then he felt something bump him. Thinking it could be a shark, because there's lots of those over there.
It should have been a shark.
He punched it at his nudger. He's like, back nudger. Turns out it was a sea lion. And for whatever reason, it hung around and helped him, keep him floating until the Coast Guard came.
Huh.
Yeah. Just a random bro of a sea lion. Just like.
Maybe he's used to it. He's made money off of it before or something. Or
the 30 off of it the 29 other survivors didn't have a sea lion help them. Well, Coast Guard got him out.
To pick its pocket or something, and he was surprised.
No, it's not a Canadian goose. It's a sea lion. They get him out. He gets to go through 14 hours of spinal surgery. That was able to actually prevent paralysis.
Okay.
And from there on, Kevin went on to help raise money for for suicide prevention nets that are now on the Golden Gate Bridge. So,
should we full circle?
Yeah. So, I mean, he's helping make sure that some people don't have the regrets of jumping off that bridge, or, in the case of, people really wanting to jump off a bridge, they won't be able to do it in San Francisco. They'll have to drive 3 hours down to San Diego.
You think they would just put up a guardrail or something?
Well, no, they put nets, because people climb over guardrails. You got nets down there. They jump off and they're just gonna be stuck. And on top of that, I don't know if it's a loose net. I imagine it is, because if it's too stiff, you'd just be able to crawl over the side and jump off. How often do they check their nets?
They're like crab fishermen, and they just come back once a week, see what they got down there.
Unstuck,
Oh, we got one. Pull her up.
That's not going to help anybody's mental condition either. They get to go through humiliation of being stuck in a net, like a kid in a ball pit.
Yeah, they don't die from the fall. They die from starvation, from being stuck in that net for 2 weeks.
And in San Francisco, I'm sure they have like an on-call therapist. As soon as they feel the net get tugged, it's like, ding, ding, ding. He's like, oh God.
You got a little fishing pole bell that's up there somewhere.
Something. All right. Let's just hop our little asses over to the other side of the world, to Manila in the Philippines. And we're going to jump about 50 years into the past. June 1974, an inter-island passenger ship sank about 600 miles south of Manila. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Philippines, it's not one big island. It's about 1,000 islands.
Yeah, there's a bunch of little
just like
smattering of them.
Just like the salad dressing, 1,000 islands.
It's good. That's my favorite.
I hate that one. So gross. 243 people of the 277 people aboard were rescued right after the disaster. According to the Philippine Navy, 2 days after the ship sank, they found a woman clinging to the back of a giant sea turtle. Candelaria Villanueva, because they don't do, in the Philippines, it's not, the double L's is not a ya, it's a yeah. It's both.
Villanueva. It is.
A 52-year-old passenger was spotted. Oh, wait, I already said that. No, and I didn't. All right. She's a 52-year-old passenger. She was spotted on what the sailors had originally thought was a very large oil drum. They threw her a life ring, and as soon as she took hold of that life ring, what they thought was an oil drum just sunk. And it was as they hauled her up, they were like, that was a turtle.
So the turtle was aware that somebody was on his back.
Yeah. Okay. And it's I'll get to it. As they hauled her aboard, it circled the area twice as if making sure its rider was secure, and then it swam away.
No, they wanted money. Where's my tip?
Where's my tip?
I hung around for 2 hours.
It's gonna give her a bad review on the Turtle Uber app. Being that this woman was being held at the surface, it means that for however long this turtle was keeping her above water, it was not eating. So it was actually ignoring its biological imperative to keep this woman alive.
Wow.
Most of this story is told by various members of the Navy, but the one comment I found that is said to be from the lady herself was that a smaller turtle was on the back of the turtle with her, and anytime she started to fall asleep, it would bite her gently to keep her awake. And that helped her keep her head out of the water.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty nuts. All right.
Now I can't wrap my head around that one.
No, because you don't think that when you see turtles.
No, you hear it about it in the Pirates of the Caribbean where Jack Sparrow say, sea turtles, mate. Whatever he said, how he got away.
Yeah.
He talked about strapping sea turtles to his feet, but this is actually...
It is a story that is said to be true. I wish they had a camera. I'd be a little bit more eager to believe it, but you never know. I'll buy into it. All right, now it's time to get a little more wild. Northern California in 2012, Robert Biggs, a 69-year-old Californian, was on a hike / gold panning trip that he kind of liked to do every now and then. As he went along the path, he came across a mother black bear with a yearling and a cub. So cubs are the babies, yearlings, they're starting to get, big, but they're not ready to start hunting on their own. Black bears will stick with their moms for a pretty good while. Okay. He stopped and watched the bears for a bit because that is what you do when you see something really cool like that. I've done it myself. It's like, oh my God, there's a mama bear cubs, from a good at least 100 yards to 200 yards away. I'm like, oh, yes, look at those cute little dots. He gets up to leave when he felt something jump on his back and knock him down to his knees. A mountain lion had latched onto his backpack and was trying to take the guy down.
Oh no.
Robert, being resourceful, took a rock pick that he had with him for his gold hunting. Took that and began whacking the mountain lion upside the head with it. I mean, if it's good enough for Andy Dufresne and Shawshank Redemption, I think it's good enough for mountain lion killing.
Yep.
And he was doing that up until the mountain lion wasn't there anymore, because that mama bear had bit the lion's neck and threw it off of him.
Damn.
Yeah. The bear and the mountain lion tussled for a little bit until the lion got loose from the bear and was like, oh, hell no, and got the hell out of there. After that, the mama bear went back to the cub and the yearling, and they just went about their business.
Huh.
Yeah. Robert had a clawed up arm, so he wrapped that up in a t-shirt, and he still made sure to stop to pan for some gold before he went home.
Of course.
I love how
use it.
How badass old dudes could be.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, God damn it, I'm gonna pan for gold.
Yeah, I came here to pan for gold.
I had 2 wild animals fight on top of me, but that ain't gonna stop me, because today might be the day that I make it big. Robert got home and his wife tried to get him to go to the doctor, but he poured some hydrogen peroxide on his cuts and said he felt fine.
It's just a flesh wound.
I mean, I dig this dude. He is like the toughest Californian award goes to this guy, Robert Biggs. I mean, like not just every California male should aspire to be this man, but just all men. This is like the real men. This is, like the ones that should be in beer commercials and stuff. As for how the hell it turned out like all this, Robert said he figured the mountain lion was after the bear cub, and he just got in the way. And it seems like the mama bear kind of thought the same thing. It was like, all right, I'm going to take this sucker out now.
Just go ahead and take him out anyway.
Yeah.
Just in case.
All right. Well, for the final part of this topic, I'm not going to tell you about a particular story, but I'm going to explain why I'm excluding a particular animal that has lots of, rescued
Dolphins.
people stories. Yep. Dolphins seem to rescue people like all the time. Like it's just a hobby. I mean, it's hard even to consider dolphins wild animals.
Yeah, they're pretty damn smart.
Yeah, they get high. There are gay dolphins, and there are rapey dolphins. There's too much individualism going on there. I mean, they do too much stuff just for fun. And I mean, it really, as smart as they are, it's like they're just these beings that just live so far off the grid that they just kind of moved into the ocean. And whenever us finless weirdos get in trouble around them, they're like, dude, you're killing the vibe with your issues. Just let me help so you can get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I didn't include any dolphin stories. I mean, there's like a million of them. And
did you read about them getting high, on how they play around with a pufferfish and how they just got on it for a second? And they'll pass the doobie to the left. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, they're and like it's said, there are gay dolphins. There are dolphins that go for just same sex only, and then there are rapey dolphins, and there's a lot of rapey dolphins. Like dolphins are like little nymphomaniacs. Like they'll get other like species that they can't really reproduce with, like porpoises, like smaller porpoises, and they'll rape them to death for shiggles.
On the pinball machine?
No, not on a pinball machine. There's yet to be any discoveries of any pinball machines for dolphins. Besides, they got flippers. I guess that would work. Yeah. It's all you need, just flippers. But yeah, no, the dolphins are crazy. I mean, there's too many stories about dolphins. I mean, like the one about like the the science study where they were putting them on LSD so that they were trying to figure out the dolphin language. And while there's this experiment, while they're getting put on LSD, there's a lady that gets in an intimate relationship with a male dolphin that she's just always giving hand jobs to. So that, because she thinks it's helping with the experiment. Allegedly, I think she just like giving the dolphin hand jobs, and the dolphin enjoyed getting hand jobs because
I wasn't gonna say no.
Dolphins are
their
perverts.
language.
It's what they are.
Dolphins, all they say is yeah.
Yeah. Nuh-uh, they say no a lot. All right. That's going to do it for stories of wild animals doing shit that doesn't make any sense by helping people, because it really doesn't. If there's anything that we can take out of this, if lions and turtles and sea lions can be cool, then we should be able to be nice enough to let a car in front of us in traffic or hold an elevator door for somebody. I mean, don't get upstaged by an animal.
No, I'll do the car thing. The elevator, that's pushing it. Everybody wants that 30 seconds alone in the elevator. They don't want that awkward silence with that somebody they don't know.
That don't faze me at all. I will gladly hold an elevator door open because I would rather hold that elevator and let somebody on than do that awkward stare at them like, I look for the button while the door slowly closes and you see their eyes bug out as they run for it. My conscience can't handle that. I can't do that.
I'll just pretend like they're not coming. I'll look up to the side and
that don't work. You should just embrace it and flip the bird. Of course, the second you do that, it's going to be like some giant muscle dude that just sticks his arm in the door and then
the door just opens right back up because they pressed the button in time.
Yeah. How about you just?
Did you want it on? I'm sorry.
How about you just don't be a dick and let people on the damn elevator? I get it if it's a really crowded one and you get those people. It's like this one. This is one that drives me nuts. Is when you got like mostly a full elevator and you got like maybe a space for like one or two people, and you see like four people, like a family of four, come up with all their luggage or something, and they eye that like they think they're gonna make it work. And if you don't shut it in time, they will try to make it work. They don't give a shit about anybody in there. They're like, here, just hold my suitcase over your head, and you've got room in between your legs. I'm gonna have my teenager crawl underneath there and squat. No, just wait for the fucking next one.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. Okay. Elevator talk. Let me write that one down. Might be an interesting topic.
Okay. All right. Well, unless Jason gets eaten by a pack of coyotes while he's trying to give them belly rubs.
Well, there was a possum sighting in my backyard just the other day.
Dude, how can you handle that? They look like big rats.
Oh, I know. Luckily, I had a giant dog out there ready to eat it.
Well, I mean, they don't have the big buck teeth, though. They're varmints, so they have the rows of sharp teeth instead.
Oh, it looked freaky. It was on the back fence. Tail was curled up in the tree. It was in the middle of the day, and that was weird about it. It was like 10 or 11 in the morning, just sitting on the back of the fence, egging on Oakley, like, come up here and get me.
Was it hissing and stuff?
Yes. I'll have to send you a picture. It's freaky looking.
All right.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay, well, join us next time when Jason will... Oh, wait, hold on. I'm so bad about this. Tell us your opinion on whether or not dolphins are a force of evil or good. I mean, yeah, they save people, but they also kind of like, they're a little sketchy. I mean, do you really want to support that kind of lifestyle? I don't know. Let us know. Like, comment on anything that we say. I don't care. If you think Jason is an absolute bastard for letting that elevator door close, please tell him off.
I'm not alone on that.
I'll shut up.
No, I'm not.
All right. Now with that, join us next time whenever Jason will hopefully tell us some stuff that'll make us say, Waywut.
Later.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Waywut. We really appreciate it. Remember that we post episodes every Tuesday, and we'll throw an extra one on Fridays if we feel like it. Don't count on it. You never know. We would love for you to follow and rate us, review us, anything on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or Pandora. or just wherever else you listen to the podcast at. If you're watching this on YouTube, throw us a comment, subscribe, notification bell, do all the things that YouTube likes for you to do so that, makes other people actually possibly find our videos. You can also stalk us on Facebook, X, or TikTok. Just search for the handle Waywut Podcast, WAYWUT Podcast. Once again, thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit, and join us next time. We'll get you to say, "Wait, what?"